Starseed from Gaia, the ground beneath your feet is shifting because the time for your expansion has arrived. You've outgrown the confines of the old timeline, spiritually, emotionally, even within the fabric of your reality. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation. What you sense as discomfort is actually the release of everything you are no longer meant to carry. The upgrades unfolding in your world are not random. Every change is divinely orchestrated to initiate your remembrance and guide you into new fields of possibility. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to align with your cosmic blueprint and unlock the next phase of your starseed potential. But here's the first revelation. Your desire for home, for deeper belonging, expansion, and safety is the echo of your original memory returning. As you let go of the familiar, you allow the realignment of your path and the reactivation of your purpose. You didn't scroll to this by mistake. This message vibrated into your field for a reason. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you're aligning with your true frequency. Comment 9999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning. Declare your galactic intention and reply to someone else's to amplify the signal. This isn't just a message, it's a point of reconnection. Your soul's been waiting for this. You are not here by accident. Most people on the path of awakening try to find comfort in what's familiar, even when the old reality is suffocating, even when it no longer matches the depth of their sensing, or the silent knowing that pulses beneath the surface. This instinct to cling to the known, to the well-trodden paths of yesterday, is a deeply ingrained human coping mechanism, a residue of countless lifetimes spent navigating environments that prioritized predictable safety over boundless potential. The familiar, even when it feels like a spiritual straitjacket, offers the illusion of control, a deceptive warmth that shields us from the perceived chill of the unknown. But what if your discomfort wasn't a problem to solve, or even a wound to heal? What if it was a signal, an encoded invitation to dissolve the ceilings you were taught to accept, and awaken to a profoundly expanded existence, one that you preordained before this incarnation even began? It is not a sign of deficit or failure, but rather a precise divine navigation beacon, guiding you away from currents that no longer serve your soul's highest trajectory. Your soul, in its infinite wisdom, is not experiencing chaos. It is undergoing a deliberate and exquisite recalibration, a sacred unraveling designed to free you from the gravitational pull of outdated paradigms. Your longing, your restlessness, the subtle unease that hums beneath the surface of your daily life, these are not indicators of something broken, but rather the unmistakable stirrings of your innate magnificence, your higher self gently, yet insistently, knocking at the door of your conscious awareness, beckoning you into the vastness of your pre-incarnation agreements. You are not meant for smallness. You are a cosmic being, born of starlight, designed for an odyssey of consciousness. There's a silent architecture to disconnection, a scaffolding woven into the collective field, one that convinces you your magic is just out of reach, that you must chase ascension or fight for worthiness. This intricate, almost invisible framework operates within the very fabric of our shared human experience, whispering limitations into our consciousness from the moment we draw our first breath. It is a subtle but pervasive system of belief, designed not by malicious intent, but by cumulative generations of fear and contraction, a web of ancestral imprints and societal conditioning that binds us to a perceived reality of scarcity and struggle. This scaffolding is built from the bricks of scarcity consciousness, the belief that there isn't enough, that you aren't enough, that joy is fleeting, and that suffering is inevitable. It is reinforced by collective narratives of struggle, competition, and separation, which subtly erode your inherent sense of belonging and limit your perception of what is possible. The magic just out of reach is the illusion that your power resides externally, dependent on validation, titles, or material accumulation, rather than acknowledging it as an inherent spark of the divine within. The real distortion isn't that you aren't enough, that your power is diminished, or that you lack inherent divinity. The profound deception is that you've been looping inside a dimensional echo where limitation is falsely called realism. This echo chamber of finite possibility reverberates with the collective agreement that the world is a hard place, that dreams are impractical, and that true freedom is an elusive fantasy. It's the constant drone of societal expectations, the fear of judgment, the relentless pressure to conform that silences the potent song of your sovereign soul. The cages are clever, yes, exquisitely disguised as practicality, masquerading as routine, cloaked in the comforting blanket of smallness and the illusion of safety. They are the invisible walls of expectation, the whispers of be reasonable, the constant pressure to conform to a norm that stifles your very essence. These cages manifest as self-doubt, as the inability to express your authentic truth, as chronic exhaustion from trying to fit into molds that were never designed for your unique spiritual anatomy. They are the subtle compromises you make to stay safe, unknowingly trading your boundless potential for a perceived, yet ultimately suffocating stability. But beneath it all, pulsing with an ancient rhythm, your ascendant self remembers a different agreement, a soul contract signed in starlight, a blueprint of boundless potential that predates any earthly construct. It knows that the true nature of reality is infinite, abundant, and deeply magical. This remembrance is the quiet rebellion within your being, the insistent thrum of your authentic frequency seeking to break free and reclaim its rightful space in the cosmic symphony. Starseeds and light carriers, you incarnated with a blueprint designed for expansion, for cosmic migration through states of consciousness, and for catalytic transformation on a planetary scale. You were never meant to remain inside inherited boundaries, those constricting definitions of self and possibility passed down through generations of unexamined beliefs. These inherited boundaries are not just mental constructs. They are energetic imprints, deeply etched into the collective unconscious, and often unknowingly perpetuated within family systems, educational institutions, and cultural norms. They are the unspoken rules that dictated who you should be, what you could achieve, and how your life must unfold, often stifling the very essence of your unique cosmic signature. Your very being carries the codes for paradigm shifts, for ushering in new frequencies of love, unity, and enlightened consciousness onto this plane. If your soul feels restless, if there is a persistent yearning that no earthly comfort can quell, it's not because you've failed or taken a wrong turn on your path. It's because your unique light codes are activating ahead of the collective curve, igniting within you a profound imperative for growth and transcendence. This yearning is the soul's compass, constantly pointing you toward your highest truth, an inner magnetic pull toward the vastness of your being. That sensation of being too big for your life, of feeling your spirit pressing against unseen walls, is not delusion or an overactive imagination. It is the undeniable resonance of your next level, the inevitable call to undergo blueprint rezoning, to courageously release the expired overlays of old identities, old stories, and old energetic patterns that no longer serve your highest timeline. It is an invitation to reconfigure your very existence for a higher, vaster, and more authentic reality, one that aligns with the sovereign truth of your multidimensional being. Think of it like a master architect redesigning a magnificent structure, not to tear it down, but to expand its dimensions, reinforce its foundations with stronger materials, and open it up to more light and panoramic views. This feeling is not a burden. It is a blessing, a deep soul stirring that signals it's time to shed the chrysalis and unfurl your cosmic wings, preparing for flight into new, uncharted territories of self-realization. So, why do most remain stuck in the familiar, even when it feels like a spiritual straitjacket? Because the transition from the perceived limitation of the third dimension to the boundless ascension of higher consciousness is both a profound unraveling and an exquisite homecoming. It is not a linear progression or a simple leap. It's an intricate dance, encoded in cycles of cosmic energy, embedded in galactic intelligence, and orchestrated by universal law, far more ancient and sophisticated than anything you've ever been taught in earthly schools or by societal dogma. This process is often misunderstood as an external journey, a pursuit of external achievements or spiritual gurus, but it is primarily an internal recalibration, a remembering of the divine architecture of your soul. It requires a profound letting go of the ego's need for control, the mind's insistence on logic, and the false comfort of certainty. This cosmic ballet unfolds not just in grand moments of epiphany, but in the quiet, subtle shifts within your energetic field, in the whispers of intuition, and in the profound synchronicities that guide your path when you dare to trust. Today, we will remember those cycles, phase by phase, and with each return of awareness, with each conscious acknowledgement of these divine stages, your inherent blueprint will begin to respond, shedding what no longer serves, and anchoring more of your true, magnificent self into your earthly vessel. This is an alchemical process, a sacred rite of passage designed by your soul, a divinely intelligent process that knows exactly what you need to release and what frequencies you are ready to embody. It is the universe conspiring with your soul to bring forth the highest expression of your being, illuminating the path you already chose. Phase 1. The disintegration of the mask. Here is where the deeply ingrained, old Earth identities, roles, and personas begin to split and flake away, much like ancient paint peeling from a venerable structure. This isn't merely a superficial change, it's a deep energetic exfoliation, stripping away layers of conditioning that have obscured your authentic light. You may suddenly notice that old roles you played, be it the dutiful child, the tireless provider, the silent observer, the rebellious artist, the people pleaser, or the perpetual victim, or even long-standing labels you embraced, such as your profession or social status, or certain relationships you once cherished, now feel like ill-fitting costumes. They chafe against your skin, restrict your breath, and no longer reflect the authentic radiance of who you are becoming. The discomfort might manifest as inexplicable fatigue, emotional turbulence, a pervasive sense of emptiness, or a feeling of being utterly lost, despite outward stability. This is not a personal collapse, nor is it a sign that you are failing or breaking down. On the contrary, it is the collapse of the simulation, the unraveling of borrowed frequencies that belong to systems and collective consciousness grids now outdated and dissolving. It is the old matrix loosening its grip, the energetic cords that once bound you to outdated narratives fraying and snapping. Every discomfort you feel during this period, the anxiety, the restlessness, the inexplicable sadness or anger, the pervasive sense of meaninglessness, is a precise signal. It is a sign that your energetic architecture is outgrowing its old scaffolding, its very being expanding beyond the confines of its previous vibrational containers. You are shedding what is no longer congruent with your rising frequency, making space for a more expansive and authentic embodiment. Do not resist the dismantling. Do not cling to the familiar discomfort of the past. Instead, embrace the sacred destruction. Imagine a phoenix rising from ashes, or a serpent shedding its old skin to reveal a vibrant, new one underneath. Allow yourself to be fluid, to trust the process of release, knowing that what falls away is simply making room for the miraculous. Let the false frequencies fall away, like autumn leaves, knowing that what remains is the fertile ground for genuine growth, the pure essence of your being ready to blossom into its destined form. This phase is an essential act of divine pruning, making space for the magnificent bloom that awaits. It is a necessary clearing, a cosmic decluttering, preparing your sacred vessel for the higher light it is destined to hold. Phase 2. The emergence of core codes. As the old patterns dissolve and the dust of the crumbling masks settles, something profoundly ancient stirs in your cellular memory. Crystalline codes, seated within the very helix of your DNA before your incarnation, begin to hum with new, higher frequencies. This is when you begin to experience vivid flashes of knowing, intuitive insights that arrive like bolts of lightning, surges of pure inspiration that feel divinely channeled, and sometimes a profound, almost aching homesickness for a place you cannot quite name or articulate, a celestial origin point that whispers to your soul. This isn't just fleeting intuition, it's a direct download from your higher self, your galactic family, or source itself, bypassing the logical mind and landing directly in the heart space. These flashes might manifest as sudden epiphanies, clear visions, prophetic dreams, or simply an unshakable inner knowing about a situation or direction. Understand, this is not mere nostalgia. This is the unmistakable language of your galactic self, the star map awakening within your very being, illuminating pathways of forgotten wisdom and multidimensional understanding. It's a feeling of deep resonance with ancient wisdom, perhaps even a recall of past lives among the stars, or of agreements made in cosmic councils. It is a remembrance of cosmic origins, of starlit agreements, and of the vastness of your own divine consciousness, a feeling of finally remembering a part of yourself that was dormant. Your sacred work here is not to force clarity or decode these experiences with your logical mind. Your work is to simply receive, to feel into the resonance of these activations, allowing them to wash over you like a gentle, familiar tide. Engage in practices that open your energetic channels: meditation, spending time in nature, intuitive movement, conscious breathing, or listening to high-frequency music. Let go of the need to label or define, to intellectualize or categorize. Just feel the current, the subtle shifts, the profound sense of expansion, like being gently pulled into a vast ocean of knowing. Allow these primordial energies to recalibrate your internal compass, guiding you not by external direction, but by the innate wisdom of your awakening soul, leading you home to your true galactic lineage. This is the moment when the dormant cosmic seed within you begins to sprout, pushing its tender roots into the richness of your awakened self, ready to break through the surface. Phase 3, the blueprint, rezoning. Here, in this potent and often exhilarating phase, the deeply ingrained limits of what you believe possible begin to glitch, pixelate, and ultimately dissolve. The familiar boundaries you once accepted, the confines of time, space, and personal capability, start to flicker, revealing the vast, unbounded landscape of your true potential. It's like observing a holographic reality, where the programmed limitations suddenly reveal themselves to be mere illusions, readily able to be recoded. Your multidimensional intelligence, that aspect of your consciousness that perceives across planes and dimensions, powerfully reclaims the wheel of your reality. This means you begin to access insights not bound by linear time, understanding the interconnectedness of all things, and perceiving realities beyond the physical veil. Boundary lines that once defined your life, timelines you thought were fixed, and even the very architecture of yourself begin to reconfigure around higher harmonic geometries, forming new, more expansive vibrational structures. It's akin to your entire being digitally remastered, upgraded to a higher resolution, aligned with a cosmic operating system. As your new blueprint stabilizes, you'll not only notice a profound internal shift, but you'll experience tangible external manifestations. Synchronicities multiply with astonishing frequency, leading you down unexpected and divinely aligned paths, like breadcrumbs from the universe. Old obstacles that once seemed insurmountable simply evaporate, dissolving into thin air as their energetic hold on you diminishes, not because you fought them, but because you transcended the frequency they existed upon. Financial blockages might suddenly clear, perfect opportunities appear out of nowhere, or relationships that once drained you gracefully recede, making space for soul-aligned connections. You are not just changing your mind or your habits, you are undergoing a fundamental energetic rebuild, from your quantum floor to your celestial ceiling, rewriting the very code of your existence. This is the universe rearranging itself around your newly expanded consciousness, aligning external reality with your internal vibrational shift, much like a mirror reflecting a brighter, truer image. You are becoming a living fractal of divine order, aligning with a vaster cosmic design, a walking testament to the infinite possibilities available when you fully embody your sovereign blueprint. Phase 4, the expansion into unknown space. This is the phase when life, in its infinite wisdom, beckons, and then insists that you step boldly into fields of possibility you cannot yet see, comprehend, or rationalize. The false promise of certainty, that comfortable but limiting illusion that we can control every outcome, must be surrendered completely, much like a ship cutting its anchors to set sail for uncharted waters, or a bird launching from the familiar branch into the vast open sky. Here, trust is not a naive hope or a blind leap of faith. It is an encoded knowing, a deep cellular remembrance that you are divinely guided and eternally supported. It is the recognition that the universe is benevolent, and its design for you is infinitely grander than any plan you could conceive with your limited human mind. You are beckoned beyond the perceived safety of your comfort zone, into the high-altitude air where new templates for existence, soul-aligned partnerships, and sacred missions await your presence. This might mean leaving a long-standing career without a clear next step, relocating to an unfamiliar place, or embarking on creative endeavors that defy conventional logic. The fear of uncertainty is a natural human response, but in this phase, you are called to transmute that fear into exhilarating anticipation, understanding that the greatest treasures lie beyond the known. This is where your highest destiny begins to unfold with effortless grace, where divine timing orchestrates events in ways your human mind could never fathom. The very space that once terrified you, the void of uncertainty, the abyss of the unknown, is actually your own soul, inviting you into the reality you authored elsewhere, in higher dimensions, before this earthly journey began. It is a quantum leap into the very heart of creation, where all possibilities reside. This is where your courage transforms into liberation, and where your true power is unleashed into the vastness of infinite potential. becoming a cosmic navigator charting new territories of consciousness. You are being called to become the explorer of your own boundless inner cosmos, a pioneer of the new Earth reality. Phase 5, the fusion of human and galactic. In this profound and pivotal phase, the very archetype of separation, the illusion that you are distinct from the cosmos, from the divine, or from others, dissolves into the unified field of consciousness. You do not, in this process, leave Earth behind, escaping its challenges or abandoning its sacred lessons. Instead, you consciously bring your star architecture, your cosmic lineage, and your multidimensional wisdom to Earth, anchoring these higher frequencies directly into the planetary grid through your embodied presence. You begin integrating cosmic intelligence, galactic wisdom, and deep cellular remembrance into every mundane act, every seemingly ordinary decision, and every conscious breath. Your morning routine becomes a sacred ritual, your work becomes an act of service, and your interactions become opportunities for energetic exchange and light transmission. Your life becomes an embodied prayer, a living laboratory for the integration of spirit and matter, dissolving the false dichotomy between the sacred and the profane. You become a walking transmission tower, a living antenna, recalibrating the vibrational field for collective emergence by simply being who you truly are. Your presence alone radiates a frequency that subtly, yet powerfully elevates the consciousness of those around you and the very ground beneath your feet, activating dormant codes in others. Without needing a single word, you become a living conduit, a bridge between worlds, consciously bringing heaven to earth. Your life is no longer solely about survival or self-improvement. It transforms into a living bridge between dimensions, a sacred conduit of synthesis and service, demonstrating how to walk simultaneously in the material and the mystical. You are the embodiment of heaven on earth, anchoring galactic consciousness into the human experience, showing others, through your very existence, what is truly possible when the cosmic self is fully integrated into the human form. You become the living testament to the truth that divinity is not distant. It is woven into the very fabric of your being, pulsing within your heart, expressed through your hands, and reflected in your eyes. Phase 6, the transmission of living light. As your being fully stabilizes in this higher octave of existence, you discover, with profound humility and grace, that your mere presence catalyzes shifts in others. You realize that wisdom flows through you effortlessly, unbidden, like a pure, clear river, guiding you and others with divine precision. Your radiance, no longer constrained by fear or doubt, becomes both guidance and activation for the vast, interconnected web of humanity. It is an emanation, a subtle but potent field that awakens dormant codes in others, simply by proximity to your authentic vibration, much like a tuning fork vibrating in resonance with another. You don't need to preach, persuade, or even speak. Your embodied frequency does the work, inspiring silent remembrance in those ready to receive. As your personal field vibrates at this ascended octave, the artificial distinction between inner and outer dissolves completely. The world around you becomes a mirror of your inner state, and your inner state becomes a conscious co-creator of your outer reality, demonstrating the power of conscious manifestation and the profound truth of as within, so without. You no longer need to strive or push. Your very being becomes the new blueprint, living proof that the ascension of Earth is not some esoteric theory or distant promise, but a palpable texture, a vibrant reality that is both real and profoundly felt through you. You become a living oracle, accessing cosmic truths and translating them into earthly understanding, a cosmic activator, sparking the remembrance in others, and a beacon of hope, illuminating the path for those still navigating the shadows. Your light is not just for you. It is a gift, a transmission for the entire planetary consciousness, assisting Earth's collective awakening. You become a living library of cosmic wisdom, a testament to the boundless potential of the human galactic hybrid, radiating unconditional love and profound peace into every corner of your reality. Now breathe this in, let it permeate every cell of your being, and allow its truth to anchor deep within your heart. What you called limitation was never a punishment. It was never a deficit or a flaw in your design. On the contrary, it was the necessary cocoon your magnificent frequency required, a sacred container. This cocoon was not a prison, but a meticulously designed womb, allowing your nascent, magnificent cosmic self to gestate shielded from the dissonant frequencies of the unawakened world. It was precisely designed so that the new architecture of your being, your true cosmic self, could take shape, undisturbed and uncorrupted by the noise of external opinion, by the judgments of a sleeping world, or by the old energetic imprints that once bound you. Every restlessness you felt, every glass wall you pressed up against, every moment of yearning for something more, was actually a boundary inscribed by your own infinite self, not to diminish you, but to keep you perfectly contained, perfectly protected, until you were exquisitely ready to rupture, to expand, to transcend the old, and become the boundless, brilliant being you were always destined to be. You are not failing to break through. You are following the preordained arc of your own cosmic engineering, adhering to a divine timing known only to your soul. The discomfort was merely the pressure building within the chrysalis, a sign that the transformation was nearing its completion, preparing you for an effortless unfolding. The rebirth into a vaster, more authentic self is not an act of brute will or a forced effort. It is a sacred rite of remembrance, a gentle but powerful signal that echoes the crystalline codes the Arcturians and other star nations encoded within you, ready to blossom now, as Earth's song aligns with galactic synchrony and the grand cosmic plan for consciousness evolution. This process is your birthright, a return to the pristine, unlimited state of your original blueprint. So when discomfort visits, when your old life seems too tight, too small, or too confining, do not despair. Instead, whisper inward with unwavering conviction, this is not collapse. This is blueprint rezoning. I am ascending as I was always destined to ascend, perfectly aligned with my highest cosmic trajectory. There are no more ceilings, only thresholds, inviting me into vaster realms of being. Each moment of release is a new breath of freedom. Each step into the unknown is a step into your destined grandeur. Tonight, let your last waking words be a powerful, anchoring declaration that vibrates through your entire being. I dissolve the bounds of my old existence. I expand into my true cosmic architecture. I allow the new template to anchor through me, here and now, in grace and power. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.